Hello everybody, hello. Happy December. There's so much going on for this video. I just want to make sure that first of all, I'm grounded because I'm like really excited to share all of this stuff. But I want to do that in a grounded, prepared way. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Tami Lynn Chambers. I'm an author and artist and angelic, spiritual, intuitive, whatever you want to call it. I'm an intuitive. I write channeled fiction, and I design and create oracle cards, and I whatever. I do a lot of different things. And I come on and I do readings here, and really the channel here is about intuitive readings and guidance and helping all of you. So I guess if you want to call that, I'm a way shower, a light worker, a starseed, if you want to put a label on some of these things. I do a lot of shamanic work. And I'm just really excited to be here and share my many years and lifetimes of knowledge and experience and what I know with all of you. Because as many of you know, those of us that do this work are being called up to step out of the closet, come out of the shadows, and share what we know. So I invite you to get comfortable. I don't want to be here too long, but I do have a lot of things that I've kind of written down that I want to cover in this video, which we're calling the 12-12 prep. Okay, so I forgot my notes, number one. Everything else is here, but I forgot I have notes this time rather than just channeling directly while I'm live or on the video. I want to make sure I at least had some notes down that I got during my morning meditation to share with you all. So this is a video, and I think I'll be doing several more before the actual time, but this is to start getting us prepared for the 12-12 gateway, which actually opens up the energies, and the portal of all of that open up today, which is the 4th. So to get started for this, first of all, I'm going to read the channeling that I got for all of us, and I asked my guides to give us what's most needed to be known by what I'm calling the TLC tribe. So not the whole giant collective, but what most needs to be known by those of you that are watching this video. Because if you've been called to see this, if it shows up in your feed unexpectedly, then it's meant for you and you're part of the tribe. Okay, so I have a good, really good message for all of us. Then I have, I always do an intuitive reading, so it supports the message out of one of my books. So we just flip, and we always are, Spirit always takes us to a passage that pertains to what they want us to know about this message. And then we're going to draw cards. So I've kind of retired the bottle caps. If you're familiar with my bottle cap drawings, I still have them. I'm not going to use them quite yet, but I have a new deck that I just created and just got the initial shipment of cards in. But it's my new TLC for the Soul. Oh heavens, if this is backwards, I need to fix that. But it's my new TLC for the Soul Oracle deck. And they're little cute mini cards that are supposed to go with you everywhere, not sit on a shelf in a box. So that's kind of what I designed them to be for. So we're going to do some readings for that. And I'm setting this video as a premiere. So what will happen then is those of you that are on the premiere, when I set this, we'll do little 1-card drawings for you on the premiere. We're going to do some drumming because last time I said we were going to drum and we never drummed. So we're going to do some drumming on my new gorgeous shaman drum that was custom made for me by a dear soul brother. And if you like his drums, all of this stuff that I'm talking about, I'll put links in the description of the video. Let me just make sure. I think that's it. Yes. Okay. So first what we're going to do is we're just going to set up some sacred space. So I want everybody to get in kind of a receptive mind state or mind frame for this video, because as you're watching it, I mean, I'm also an activator. So as you're listening to my voice, as you're seeing me, as you're hearing me, light codes and downloads are being delivered to you. It could be through light language. We can do some light language. A lot of times it's through my eyes. So I've noticed when I'm blinking a lot, more so than normal, light codes are being sent out to you. And I've noticed that only because I didn't originally realize that, but I noticed that when I went back and watched one of my videos and I was like, what's going on there? And Spirit's like, you're sending light codes through your eyes. And then if there's hand movements or gestures, sometimes that's healing. Light codes can also be delivered through the hands, okay? So then in order to receive all this juicy goodness, you just kind of need to be in a receptive state. And my intent is to be a calming, peaceful energy to squelch and push out any of the drama, any of the negativity, any of the anxiety that's around you now, if there is any, okay? Because some of you don't know how to create sacred space yet, or you're just kind of new to it. And it's just a good practice to get into. So in these videos, I try to show different ways of creating sacred space. And always before the video, and even now, I'm wrapping us all in divine white protective light, that only those messages and only those beings that show up for this video and for this reading have our highest and best good in mind, that they're the highest dimensional beings that we can draw in to us in this now, allowed by cosmic law, and that they are here. Obviously, they're all benevolent. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in this space with me, because those guys have been, those guys are no longer, not that they're not allowed, but if any negative energy comes my way, the guidance and that my guides have and that my higher self does is immediately sends out a massive burst of love and light to anything negative, and it all gets transfigured and transformed. So I'm no longer sending it away, like, go away somewhere and don't bother me, negative energy. It's all being transmuted before it can enter my space. So if there is any energy that thinks it's going to be kind of up to no good, that all gets sent love and light, and love really conquers all and transfigures and transmutes all lower energy. So let's just set some fire to stuff. So I have a lot of water. So water is my totem element. And so I like to balance that out sometimes by using, so there's a lot of water in and around me, even in my auric field. My guides are always putting Larimar around me, and I'm like, okay, that's a watery stone. So I try to balance that out with a little bit of fire. So in this little bowl is some cypress that I picked up on some of my morning walks. Some of this is from a riverbed cypress tree. Some of it is from around my home. There's some dried rose petals from my rose bushes, and there's a little tiny bit of white sage. So hopefully this doesn't flare up too much. We'll see what happens here. Oh, no. So this is to clear our space. Oh, it's doing good. It smells really good too. So I invite you to, if you can, like I don't have any white sage of my own right now. I've been gifted a lot of white sage, so I haven't had to go out and buy any. But using the things that are around you in nature also create amazing incenses and space clearing. So cypress and juniper, huge protective energy in cypress and juniper. Rose petals, obviously what are roses, right? They're love. Roses are all about love and boundaries and protection. So we've got the rose petals. The little fire starter keeps giving out. It only wants to do like one click every so often. Alright, it's totally full. It's on the blink, I guess. These little things don't last. Alright, I'm going to go back to creating fire my own. I'm going to find a way to create my own fire. This just is not good enough. Alright. I'm also going to spray around one of my favorite sacred space sprays. This is Calling All Angels by Alaskan Essences. Smells amazing, and my son, I would always like spray it over him when he was going to sleep, and he was like, come to expect that, like, where's my angel spray? Smells really good. All right. All right, the burning apparently is going to stop because the thing has stopped. So the first thing we're going to do then is I'm going to read the message that I got for all of us this morning in my meditation. And I just said, I just asked my guides, like, what's most important for us in the TLC tribe to know right now, specific to the 1212 gateway and the energy that is kind of afoot right now. So I'm just going to read what I wrote. So taking a step back is the first thing. And I've been getting this for the past couple of days, and I don't like that message. So taking a step back means there's something you have to deal with, okay? There's some healing work that needs to be done. There's some answers that you need to receive from your higher self or your guides. There's some rest and some respite and some relaxation that needs to happen before you just like burst forward again. So if you're starting to live your life in divine, what I guess I'm calling divine flow, then you notice that there's periods of rest, and then there's the muse kind of comes in and there's bursts of energy, right? So we need to ride that wave accordingly. And when spirit or the energetics around us are saying, you know, it's time to take a step back, then we need to see that as a blessing rather than something bad. And we need to just kind of heed that. And really, it's for our own self-love and self-care as well, because there's healing that needs to happen, or something that, or just rest, or just taking your mind to a different space. That all needs to happen before you move forward again. So we have to start framing that kind of in a more positive light, because whenever I see take a step back, I'm like, no, and I kind of have this like connotation around it, and I'm working to reframe that taking a step back is always a good thing, okay? And for me, one of the most helpful ways to kind of find out what's going on when I hear take a step back, because I get that, like I'll get there's actually cards that like take a step back. I think there's even a card in my deck that's like take a step back. And so the best way for me to get messages about that is to, from my personal way of doing things, is to go into shamanic journey and find out what my guides have to tell me. Because at some point, the cards can only give you so much information, and you need to really go deeper than that. And I don't know if I have any shamanic, a little light being just kind of flew by. Oh, it just kind of went like down. I don't know if I have any shamanic journeys on my website or on my YouTube, but I can definitely create some of those. So they're saying taking a step back is an act of courage. Building trust is an act of faith. So it does take courage, right? To realize like, oh, okay, I need to do some more work on myself or something before I can move forward again. They said strength comes from knowing that now I can't read my writing. Strength comes from knowing that even in darkness, you are never alone. Even in your darkness, you are never alone. Great joy lies at the end of this journey. Awakening to new, so they're speaking specifically about the journey to 1212, so between now and 1212. Awakening to new primordial power sent up and out from Gaia herself to all sentient beings. You just have to choose to accept them. Allow the magic within you to unfold, for in its deepest power you will find clarity and regain confidence, and you will soar. And I even made like this little weird drawing of like bursting up from the earth and like exploding like a firework or something. So the message, the 1212 preparation is, they're calling 1212 massive upswing. There are planetary alignments, grid energy, stargate emanations, and elemental energy from the sun and Gaia. Oh God, what is my right? Making up this legendary shift. So step 1 is breathe into it. This much plasmic, planetary, and stargate influxes can leave you feeling discombobulated. So if you feel like you're in a time without time feeling, which sometimes I get into this like, oh, it feels so weird, like it just feels like I'm in this funky void space. So they're saying if you feel like that, they're calling it a time without time feeling, just breathe to support your nervous system, because your whole light body's going through upgrades and up-leveling. And your nervous system could be like, whoa, what's going on? I'm freaking out. And there could be some anxiety. There could be some upheaval and chaos going on around you as things kind of shift and shake away. And so number 1 is just breathe into it, okay? All is well. So they just keep saying all is well. You are supported. And this constantly telling us that we're supported by angels, guides, star family, and ancestors. Because they're saying it's all hands on deck for this change. And I have seen other light workers and way showers channeling the same information. A lot of Pleiadian channels. So I'm a Pleiadian channel as well, but a lot of Pleiadian channels. The Pleiadians are all star families, but the Pleiadians are kind of heading up this change as from all the Stargate emissaries of light. And they're just saying it's all hands on deck for this change. If you want to work with a certain archetype or guide during this period, I was asking like who's stepping forward as an archetype or a guide for you if you're interested in working with one of them for the 1212 energy. And they just keep saying it's all hands on deck. Choose anyone you want on your team, because everyone has been debriefed on what is called Project Pandora. And I've seen another Pleiadian channel talk about Project Pandora as well, but they're calling it Project Pandora. So all your guides, all of them have been debriefed on Project Pandora and know the way for you to go, how to lead you to the highest timeline and power for you. Okay? So any guide you choose is aware of what's going on and can help you. You just have to reach out for help and say, I want a guide to work with me. So if you're new to this, because some of you watching this are kind of newly awakening and you're like, well, what the heck? I don't even know what a guide is. But if you want an angel or someone to work with you during this 12/12 transition, and for however long you want, but if you specifically say, I need help during this 12/12 gateway because this is getting a little bit rough, call in a guide to work with you. And if you don't have any that you work with, ask for one to make themselves known to you in a way that's easy for you to see and understand who they are, and one that you're comfortable with. And normally what you'll get then is one of your they're saying that they're like past life guides, but you'll get a guide who's been with you through all of your lifetimes, and they are just waiting for you to invite them in. They cannot come without your invitation, so they can't just be knocking and kind of force themselves on you. You have to, because we are a planetary system of free will choice, you have to invite them in. That's just the cosmic law surrounding the communication right now between, I'm getting chills as I'm saying that, the communication now between the other worlds and those of us in this world. They have to be, just like a vampire, has to be asked to come inside. I'm giving me that for a reason. Because a lot of you, they said that watch this are going to resonate with like how the vampire has to be invited in before he can kind of, well, he's up to no good, but your guides have to be invited into your space before they can help you. So just ask for a guide to make themselves known to you. And I remember the very first guide that made herself known to me. I actually had no idea who she was. She just came out in an automatic writing session and gave me her name, and I was like, who the heck is that? And I had to like go look it up because I didn't even know. But KYANITE was the very first guide that ever made herself known to me by name, and they've been there all along, but she was the one that very first stepped forward. So that is an amazing message, and there's more to follow. To me, this is a very short channeling. Like, I could sit here all day and talk to you guys and channel whoever for us. But obviously, you wouldn't want to sit here and watch this video all day long. So the next thing we're going to move on to is a little bit of drumming. Actually, they're going to ask me to bring in some light language first, okay? So this light language is going to open you, prepare you to receive, shake away any excess dross and lower energy in your vibratory field, and just kind of instill some kind of excitement energy, because they want us to get excited about the fact that like really good things are coming. Really, really good things are coming. That's coming from them right now. They're coming through me, but really, really good things are coming. And so they want y'all to get excited and not be nervous about that. And I have to be honest that every morning I've been waking up like with anxiety, kind of like, oh, where's this going? Because there's a lot of unknown right now about where things are going. And one of the biggest messages is just to be comfortable with the unknowns. And the step one, again, is just to breathe through it, okay? So not so much trying to mask it, because a lot of times we go to other things when we're anxious, like comfort foods, alcohol, you know, those kind of things, to kind of like just tamp it down a little bit. And they want us to, as much as possible, you know, stay high vibe. Stay high vibe foods as much as you can, and you know, stay away from things that are numbing you to the energy coming in, because they're saying that is a kind of a trick from the 3D world to keep us, keep us kind of numbed out. So let's bring in the light language. This is Pleiadian. And I just wanted to speak to, because there's some people that watch my videos and I think they're watching other people's videos and kind of comparing light language. So my guides want me to speak to that a little bit first. And sorry, my leg is falling asleep, so I have to move here a little bit and change positions. My guides want me to speak to that. So there's some people that watch and they've commented like, why is that so fast? Oh my God, that's not Pleiadian. That doesn't sound right. Just like in the human language, and I'm going to just channel what my guides are saying. So just like in the human language, how there's different dialects, people speak differently, there's different foreign languages that sound different, but that they're all saying the same thing. And when the light language starts to come in really fast and furious, those are unlocking key codes and activation codes. So not everyone that speaks the light language is an activator, okay? Some people speaking light language are just, they're delivering light language, they're speaking it, and it's really pretty messages, and a lot of it is blessings and information that the soul knows and resonates with. But not everyone who speaks the light language activates people, okay? And activates people means we're turning on your dormant DNA. We're getting you, they're saying, fired up for your ascension. We're helping your power ignite, your kundalini fire awaken. We're helping that dormant DNA get turned on. We are waking up your soul with this light language through words of remembrance, through codes, through codex. And the last time that I kind of asked my guides about this, they showed me, as soon as I asked them, I saw a billboard, and it was a bunch of, it was a phone number or something, but it was a bunch of ones and zeros. So they kept showing me the ones and zeros. So if you're familiar with computer code, light language that is coming from an activator is like delivering you packets of ones and zeros, in a sense. Not literally, but figuratively delivering you code to awaken you, code that your DNA and your soul understands to wake you up. So if you're comparing, which I don't advise to compare, if it starts to get fast, that is an activation code, okay? And it's not anything to get scared or worried about. So let's just leave it at that, and let's just deliver this light language for you. So this is going to be a lot of heart opening. The reason I can tell is right now they have me with my hands like this, almost like over my sacred heart, like it's like I'm blocking something from my heart, okay? So this is going to be a lot of heart opening, just to say. And I'm going to take these rings off because they're moving a lot. Okay, here we go. Mission I or unmi or any hede or and ari ish getting or in or in oi. This is ultralight coming straight from Creator, Source, God. Rin un in ari in your own ari kuru on hi. How do you hi you you I wouldn't be what you I Okay. So that was heart opening. There was some ear chakra. Actually, it's not really ear chakra, but they're saying if you're a starseed, a lot of you have always, all your life, like had this ringing, buzzing tones and sounds in your ears. And what some of that light language did is kind of like, it turned up the volume. Not that the sounds are going to get louder, but that you're going to start understanding what the tones mean. So, kind of cool. Because I've had this really loud ringing, and I hear it more over here forever. I've had it like almost probably, who knows how long, ever and ever and ever it's been there. So we're going to start to be able to understand what that is, what those tones are, where they're coming from. So they're saying there's a lot of disbelief energy right now surrounding people. People are going to come to social media and kind of see stuff like that and be like, oh, she's like full of crap. What the heck is she talking about? And already those people, as they come and see it, are wrapped in light and love. All that energy is transfigured. All that disbelief is going to be transfigured. So I told you, right, we're activating, right? So people are going to see this and be like, oh, what the heck is that? What the heck is she doing? And some of that you saw, if you are in disbelief, is going to wake you up. It may not happen like right now, but usually within 24 to 48 hours, like something's going to click from this light language. If you're already awakened, you're getting the codes, and something's going to click from the light language, and you're going to have, you know, whatever, oh no, further awakening, a release, an epiphany, or whatever. But if you're not awake and your higher self is bringing you to this video, and you're being shown it, and you're being like, what the heck is that? That woman's insane. You just got activated. So you're being drawn into the ascension and awakening process at the divine will of your highest self, which is your I am presence. So cool. I love it now. It's time, people. It's time. And people are, Spirit has kind of taken the reins in terms of, like, some people's have chosen to awaken, but their lower selves are not allowing, there's resistance, right? So the higher selves, the highest selves now are stepping in to facilitate that awakening, and are bringing them to things and places and people that normally make them very uncomfortable, and sending out these awakening codes to bust through that resistance. So that's what all that. Okay, so my video is doing weird stuff too. So apparently it's a large video for whatever strange reason. Okay, let's just ground ourselves from that light language and do a little bit of drumming, and then we're going to do some cards. I'm not going to use the beater right now. So this is just going to ground in. Oh, he's a little cold. That was fun. I love my drum. Doug's drums. I will put a link. All handmade. Dyed goat skin. I know if you're vegan, he can do vegan if you want to do vegan. And all handmade. I haven't really decorated him yet either. I'm just kind of sitting with him since I got him recently to kind of see if he wants more stuff, like more painting and all that. I can paint him. Okay, stop rolling. It's kind of rolling away. All right. Now we're going to do an intuitive reading from my book, the Missing Shadowbooks. This is a KYANITE Fairywing Adventure. Just to give you some sense of what the book is about, so when we drop into some pages, you'll kind of have a better idea. But this is the first book of the KYANITE FAIRYWING Adventures. We meet KYANITE, Lilac, and Onyx. They work for the elite fairy guard of Chumasha, an etheric city in New Earth circa 2025, not that far away. A world where fairies, angel witches, unicorns, and merfolk abound, and a place where magic is very real. The other side of the spectrum still exists in the neighboring Muggle town of Oakwood. KYANITE and her friends must solve who has stolen the precious shadow books from Chumasha, and only Onyx has seen the thief and has been bound by a spell from recalling the theft. With Onyx hidden safe in a magical merfolk underground city from the Wraith hunting him, now KYANITE and her friends must work to solve the theft before the final book is stolen and the world consumed by darkness. With her confidence and love for humanity, KYANITE rules the day by using her magical powers, confidence, and compassion to overcome any obstacle. I'm telling you, we can't make this stuff up, okay? They guided me to this book. This book is all my books are channeled anyway. Like, the stories just come from the people / characters. But look, it's all yellow. So our reading this morning is about having confidence and trust. Yellow for your solar plexus chakra, heart energy, rainbow light, elemental energy with the fairies. And let's just see what message they want me to read. Oh, here we go. All right. So we're dropping into page 114. And by the way, I'll put the link. These books are all on my website. Actually, they're on Amazon and all the other book retailers, Barnes and Nobles and Apple and all that. But I'm doing a special right now, a signed copy of one of my books along with a mini email, whatever you want to call it, psychic reading for you. Those are on sale right now for $33. So you get a signed copy of the book, along with kind of a one-card draw / email reading that I'll send to you via email. So that's kind of cool. So we're dropping into this page that says, KYANITE thought about how this was the biggest case she had ever been on, and she couldn't fail now. And poor Darden, she hadn't even considered how he might be feeling right now. Maybe she had this all wrong. She needed to support him and not worry about why he was at Periwinkle's, she thought. KYANITE rose and dressed very simply in a green velvet jumpsuit. She grabbed her bag and pulled out Megan. This is her crystal ball. She just had to see what this wraith was up to as she placed the crystal ball atop her duvet and said assertively, "Show me the black darkness. Show me the one that is following us. Show yourself." KYANITE stared intently into Megan's clear crystal energy, and soon the familiar cloud began to form. She could feel that the crystal was reluctant to connect with this dark energy, she thought. "I know," she said lovingly to the crystal. "I know it's dark energy, but we simply must know what it's doing right now," she said softly. The cloud gathered and became dark and menacing. Then it began to part, and she saw it. Dark and sinister and wispy like a ghost with a black sheet on. The eyes the darkest blue, and blazing a light so wicked it made her shiver. Then she gasped. The wraith was hovering over the beach line of blue Oceania. "Oh, Onyx!" she screamed out loud, and Megan went dark. KYANITE sat on her bed shivering and crying. What could she do? She felt powerless. And then she realized she had taken Onyx to blue Oceania for a reason. She had taken him there because she knew the elders could and would protect him. She simply must trust that it was so. She said a silent prayer that all would be fine and no harm would come to anyone in blue Oceania. Then she gathered her composure to call her mother. Oh my God, it's all about trust, trusting. Even there is darker energy that's still around the planet. But like I said earlier in our reading, in our channeling, it's all hands on deck. There's going to be massive blasts. This is coming through me right now. Massive blasts of up-leveling, of light. It's like going to make me cry. Just massive blasts of light that are going to surround the planet, and they're going to start to drive out this darker energy. And those of us that have been here for a while, it's just like we've been waiting so long for this to happen. So long, and it's finally going to happen. We just have to trust and have faith that it all is going to work out. It's going to work out collectively. It's going to work out for Gaia. It's going to work out for you. It's going to work out for you. You're going to be fine, okay? Your guides are always with you. They're always around you. They're always protecting you, okay? And I don't want you to forget that, all right? I don't want you to forget that. Okay. And lastly, because I don't know how long this darn video is, we're going to draw from my new deck. So they all come in these little silk pouches. Again, these are on my website too. I'll put the link down in the description. These are brand new. These are TLC for the soul. It's 21 little mini cards, and the reason I made them this way, and the reason I did make like a ginormous deck for this one, is several reasons. One of them, it's easy for small hands to work with. I have smaller hands, and sometimes it's just hard for me to shuffle a lot of cards, and so I made it small. I also made it small for kids, because I think children need to, oh my god, I'm crying again. Children are gonna, it's time for us to start teaching our kids about the power of themselves, the power that's within them, the power of their intuition, the power of their own guidance. And it's time for us to stop tamping children down and making them to be less than us, because they're not an adult size. Oh my god, some of the biggest, most amazing souls I know are little ones right now. You know, old ancient souls in little kids' bodies. So we have to stop making them be less than. Okay, whew, holy crap. So many tears. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle and draw a few cards for this 12-12 reading and what we most need to know about. Right now, I want to figure out how to change this mirror image thing on my phone so these cards start showing up in the right direction if they're not. They look backwards to me on the video. Okay, 3 cards, please. Let's see what we got. Oh gosh, I keep getting this card. One more. Of course, they all want to come out. Okay. Holy crap. Okay, it's almost like exactly what I drew the same question yesterday. So the first card is Karma. There are number 18, so that's a 9 in numerology, which is endings, which means there's new beginnings right alongside of that. So with the Karma card, you'll see it's like a little contract, but it's signed love. So with this card, we're working out past karma. We are wrapping up a lot of past life issues. That's why it's so important to, if you can't do this work yourself, this healing work yourself, it's so important to find someone that can help you kind of clear some of these things, these past life things. I had a big one last night that came up for me, and I really needed to clear it. And I went into shamanic journey, and my guides did it all for me. I didn't have to do anything. I just kind of was kind of an open, receptive participant, and my guides did all the work, and it was like an amazing, amazing clearing. So that's another way to do that too, is just tell your guides, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I want to heal this. And there's shamanic journey tracks and stuff out there all over the place. I use Sandra Ingerman's just because I've taken many of her courses, and I'm just really like the way she does it. And then there's many others too. So anyway, the first card is Karma. So they want us to know we're doing a lot of clearing right now, okay, in preparation for this 12-12 gateway. The next card that came out was Rest, number 4. A lot of information is coming to us in our dreams. A lot of these planetary shifts and alignments and codes coming in and awakening frequencies and all of the things going on are making some people very tired. So it's okay to rest, okay? If you feel tired, you need to rest. And a lot of times too, what I've noticed, because I do sun gazing every morning if the sun is out, But if you sun gaze, sometimes you're being delivered codes. Right now I just delivered us a bunch of codes in the video, and sometimes you have to go take a nap in order for those codes to be unpacked, and for that knowledge to come out, because you're in a more receptive state when you're resting or you're taking a nap. Okay, so make sure you get plenty of rest. And then the last card that came in was number 19, Divine Intervention. And they just said, it says it all. So it's all hands, again, they're saying it's all hands on deck. You are being divinely guided and supported at all times. Even when you feel alone, your guides are there. You just have to say, like, if you ever feel like you're alone, just say, can you please show me a sign that you're still around? And guaranteed they're going to show you a sign. It could be like a penny on the ground. It could be a feather that floats down out of somewhere. Sometimes people will feel like a hug or a tap on their shoulder. But if you ever feel like you're totally alone, you're not alone. I'm here. I'm here with you in spirit, and your guides are always, 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 always with you. I know that from experience. I know that to be true. So just know that this whole thing, this whole awakening process, this whole specific to 1212, everything is being divinely guided and supported, and you are going to be fine. Okay, you're going to be fine. The bottom of the deck, oh, of course, see, I told you, there it is. Wait, that's that card I was talking about that's almost in every deck. That's kind of like the take a step back card. So, but this card on the bottom of the deck is like a little alarm clock, but it's got an angel. So it's a little clock, but it's got an angel inside of it. So when they're telling you to wait, we see that as divine intervention and not a bad thing. And it's just going to take a little bit more time, they're saying, before all your dreams become realities, all the things and projects you've been working on come into a bigger light and a bigger success. Relationships start to flourish and get lighter and brighter, and all of that karma is burned off and healed. Just give it a little bit more time and trust. Like KYANITE in our book had to trust. She just had to trust that everybody and everything was taken care of. Okay, and it's just a power outside of ourselves, but it's meant to give us a great peace in our hearts and a great feeling of relief that we're not doing this all by ourselves. Okay. So I'm going to sign off here. If you're on for the premiere, then we'll be doing one card little readings. For those of you that want a reading, you just have to tell me in the comments. And we'll be back on for probably a couple more videos before the 12/12, so we make sure that we're all ready to go for this massive upswing that we're being promised. Okay? So goodbye, everybody. I love you, and take care. We'll see you next time.